brothers and sisters, family in the world, online. May that great divine be in our life, keep us strong, and keep us prospering. And great morning, good afternoon, and good evening, whatever time zone one is in. And got to stay practicing every day on our mind, body, and soul, because a lot of frequencies around us, as I've been speaking on last podcast or so. And again, one love and much strength from that great divine for oneself, children, and family, and the righteous brothers and sisters that's sifting through some of these toxic things out here. That's why it's good to meditate, which this is right what we're doing right now, fellow spell breakers. This is a form of meditation. Anytime one is getting into deep, honest thoughts to the pit of our soul, that's meditation, brothers and sisters. We can meditate anywhere, or deep prayer. We don't have to always be in the Indian sitting style setting or eyes closed. We can go into deep prayer and meditation anywhere, wherever we are. Like I said, I take moments and just say, thank you, great divine, just because I can. Because a lot of us have been through things that still can't explain to this day, and we stay with it and go deeper into that spiritual realm that can be, like I say, it's a great divine is something way beyond our understanding in that spiritual realm is what I'm trying to say. But be thankful for the knowledge that one has come across in this life, whether an upright human being or a deeply spiritual person. And salute to Lord Lamont. We had a wonderful Father and Son discussion Saturday. We did that tribute I was speaking on by L'Oreal Lyrical. Rest in peace and in power. And it was a playlist of her music, and we just spoke on her life and his life and my life and our family, and just had a father and son discussion, which we like to do. Again, it's just to inspire other fathers and sons and mothers and daughters. So it's just wonderful. And Lord Lamont and myself, we've come a long way, and it's wonderful. Man, when we stay with it and stick to what's important, is the benefits is just, man, the results of doing the right thing, even when it's not easy. It's just, you can breathe, man. You look back like, wow, I'm glad I did that. Right choices is the best gift in the world. I don't care about money or being known or being popular or having this and having that. Making right choices in one life, getting you to a space where you're not carrying a bunch of burdens and less stress as possible. And when we can be aware, even in the midst of a chaos, when you can be aware in chaos and still be a righteous general, I salute you, because that's power, and it shapes you. It makes you stronger, and you start anticipating challenges that may come via whether it's history or something in the world or news or just an overall thing. Being aware as much as one can, like L'Oreal Lyrical was. Rest in peace and in power. She was a very street savvy, educated man, self-aware. It's beautiful. One can be like that, if we're able to, because there's a lot of things going on in this world, as we know, and it don't make no difference where we are. It's crap going on everywhere. Real talk. So again, salute to Lord Lamont, and he said he wanted to do some music probably next Saturday or the next Father and Son discussion. We'll still have a Father and Son discussion. But he and we haven't made a song together in a while. And we made two songs, one called Keep Your Mind Right, and another song was Breathe. That was our very first song. And again, Keep Your Mind Right, that was the inspiration from brother Lance Curve X. He said that one time when I was in his chat room. Like I said, I ain't been in chat rooms and comments in a long time. And it's not an anti-sociable thing. It's just, I don't know. I just pulled back, because it was a time even before for a long time I never got in chat rooms or comments, and then I did, and then I pulled back, so I don't know, just it's like, it's fun. It can be fun and something else observing. Again, I don't peek into people's chat room. I don't even go in the chat room. Matter of fact, when I come to a person's platform, especially a righteous teacher, one who's really on their purpose and for real and authentic, I come to learn. I come to listen. So if one is coming to do that, especially up in age, you need to be ashamed of your damn self. We need to stop that shit. we can observe and be in solitude without all that mess. Real talk. So yeah, but I know, again, we get to a point, if we're wise and we're not in toxic circles and not plotting and planning and wrong things in our mind, we'll know who the righteous ones are. Just got to be vigilant. That's why I say not being in chat rooms and not commenting so much will be able to observe kind of who the real ones is, so to speak. So ain't no reason or nothing like that. It's just something I do. I just don't do. I comment every so often, but chat rooms, I don't know. I leave it up to that great divine. When he's ready for me to be, with others in chat rooms and in life in general too. But actually, I have more human connections than I do chat rooms. So yeah, but I'm thankful for the righteous teachers, whether you got a platform or not. Those who are adding to humanity and their culture, whether you on the grounds, you in the trenches, wherever you are, because every part of a person that cares about humanity and their culture matters. Like I said, every righteous general, let's say a righteous tree, every part of that tree matters. The twigs, the leaves, the branches, especially the roots, the bark. If it's righteous, it all matters. I don't care how one came up, how one is raised. Forget where we was. Look at where we are. That's what matters. What our mindset is in the present. But I always say, folks, keep the future in the present, though. Stay vigilant, So, and I, not like, again, I try one's best to be led by that great divine spirit, and stay away from the human flesh thoughts, if you know what I mean. Because as I love to say, the human flesh can be a mother hubber. That's why it's good to study it, but especially study human nature, but especially for ourselves, So just so we can breathe in life and sidestep the devilish tricks of this sometimes devilish world that we sometimes living in, But again, it's beautiful to be able to balance, even in the mix of all this crap that's going on. Because again, it's everywhere. It ain't no certain places. It's everywhere. So it just depends on what the individual, what we consume every day, what's in our mind, what we think about deeply in our soul is what will work its way out to the physical. Because as I reiterate all the time, where the mind goes, the body goes, or the body always follows the mind, right? Many of us should know this. It don't take no rocket science to know that. Experiences have shown us. Life is the best teacher, folks. Brother, sister, family, in the world, online. And if you come to a place of peace, wherever you are, because again, having money and wealth and material, that doesn't really mean peace. I'm talking about just a peace when you can have peace in anything. So wherever you are, whether you're on the street, you got a home, you don't got a home, if you have peace in the midst of your situation, salute yourself. That's strength. Stay with it, cultivate it. Don't let that leave, because it's hard to come by in some areas of this world today. Y'all know how I do it. Global perspective and protection. Keep that realm strong as possible, and acknowledge those who may not be having a great life. May great divine prop to give them and help them see the light. But great divine and mama nature can help those who you gotta want to help yourself too. All right, divine path. That's what we're gonna speak on today, spell breakers, and how beautiful it is having a righteous vision. Notice I put a righteous on there, not just any vision, a righteous vision. So, like I was on the banner here, we're gonna sit here on the balcony and just look out over the city and get into deep thought, like if we were just having a normal conversation. So we'll say E's house of nature on the balcony, looking over the city, and many of us that are artists, myself, I used to draw too, and actually Brother Lance, Scurv X, he's an artist. I've seen him. Like I said, he's dynamic with the pen on the paper. And many of salute to all my artists, my poets, those who just have ideas just pop up in their spirit out of nowhere. It's beautiful, but you have to be in a space to see ideas or want ideas. We're talking about good, righteous ideas that either impact our loving circle where we are or the world. It's beautiful, We can it's beautiful having big thoughts, huge thoughts, or think big without ego attached to it, And it's beautiful when great divine do place wonderful people on our path, because I've met some wonderful brothers and sisters in the world and online. Some I've met face to face, some not. But it's wonderful. And we got to cling to things like that, because as I told Lord Lamont, I don't never want to get to it. I stay away from the ego thing. I don't want to think I'm invincible, try one's best to stay healthy as possible. I don't do everything perfect, but when one is aware, we can make a change in ourselves, and focus on the good things of life. Stay away from, like I said, that firewall we call the human flesh, because it'll burn your ass up. The analogy example I like to give, just think if we left everything up to our human flesh, this world would be as worse, as bad as this world, as some parts of this world is. It would be even worse if we just threw caution to the, just think of everybody, threw caution to the wind. We really would be a holy mess, real talk. So, but it ain't like that. We got a lot of warriors out here, a lot of generals that's speaking that truth and still fighting that uphill battle. Because again, being positive, having positive energy, trying to be an upright, well, not trying, being an upright human being can be an uphill battle sometimes. But the benefits, because again, positive energy is more than just being positive. It's also healthy, like laughing, joy, stuff like that. That's why you can't get too drawn into this world. Now, I'm not talking about chat rooms and comments, because again, we got a righteous platform. And salute to those in the comments and chat rooms who are educated and who are real and are there for a cause. Salute to that, because we do got a lot of good individuals and sharp and very informed, intelligent brothers and sisters that do be in comments and chat rooms, because they do matter. They're part of that righteous tree, because we need that too, because some of them are doing things, You do have some that maybe do be in comments or chat rooms that are actually doing something in life, But again, when we study human nature, especially ourselves, over time, we'll know who the allies are. So I always say I'm an ally, to those who are righteous, far and near. That's why I always honor the righteous ancestor, brother or sister, male or female, that man fought through tooth and nail to get many of us to that divine foundation we're standing on. Salute, pat yourself on the back, because I know it can be challenging sometimes, but we got to keep going. The fight must go on, because the devil never sleeps, always looking for a window, a crack, a error, a mistake. Got to stay on it. Fuck the devil. Got to talk down on it and place that and call down protection from that great divine, whatever that positive force that we're drawing energy from. Because I know it's that people say God, people say great divine, people say creator. At the end of the day, it's all the same thing. And I heard a brother say that, remember, everybody got different opinions, but we got to focus on the real enemy. I always say that. But a lot of us are getting there. Again, if we're righteous in our heart, we're all a part of that same righteous tree. I heard a brother say that he heard in the air, or the rumor mill or something, he heard that they're trying to replace God with the universe. It's all the same. So I wish we need to stop splitting it up. Mama Nature, or splitting it up, excuse me, I fumbled. Mama Nature, God, or great divine, or creator, or the universe, it's all the same thing. It's all the same frequency. See, that's what we got to get away from. Stop thinking that, well, I believe this, you believe that, where your belief is wrong. Well, your belief is wrong. We got to get away from that. It's all the same thing. Most of the books, like the book of Enoch and the Quran and the Bible. Now, of course, we got to sift through the real truths, especially in that Bible. But when you really break it down, like Eddie Griffin said, it all says the same thing. Teach others. What they say? Treat others as you would have others treat you. Most of them are pretty much the same philosophy. See, that's what we got to focus on and get away from the differences and the different religions and the different beliefs. We need to get away from that and center on one thing. It all means the same thing. Be righteous, have a righteous goal, help others if we can. That's what most of them books are basically saying. And I haven't even read a lot of them, like the book of Enoch. I've never read it. But I guarantee you, if I go in there and read it, it's going to be some of the same similar things. It's just that when some of the religion came along, it really says some of the same things that the original books said. They just kind of changed it up. It made it look more like some, not all, not like some Caucasians were the superior ones. That's the only thing that changed. But we already know the case with the history and all that, But basically they all say the same thing. Follow great divine or God or creator, live, lose ourselves in that creator, and go with our righteous spirit, and stick and stay on this divine path. So, and let nothing waver it, and be a righteous visionary. That's what I meant to say. The title was not just a righteous vision, a righteous visionary. Don't be afraid to think big, and that's what meditation comes in too, because when one get into a deep solitude flow state and get into them real deep thoughts, again, we get to the uncomfortable things too. I always say they got to throw that in there, the bad things, but there's some wonderful gifts that just lay in our subconscious sometimes. So that's why we get into meditation too. Be like, man, we be amazed at things that we, again, let lay dormant. Get into those, and that's when that path begins. That's when the journey begins. When you start finding what you love and you just living life, and things will just come along. So, but if one do have a skill, a righteous skill, develop it, cultivate it, stay with it. Don't just let it go away. That's why I'm always playing music and speaking on Lord Lamont and expressing, getting him inspired. See, now he want to make another song. See, and I make sure I play his music and keep him remembering the skills and abilities he had, because we spoke on some challenges he was having. So I try to keep him remembering his gifts and where he came from, how strong he really is, and not letting life stress him to the point where he forget about, expressing his gifts and his talents, and having an outlet, a way, not being oblivious and naive or nothing like that, but just having something, a hobby we love, to get away from the stressful parts of this world sometime. And again, may great divine be in Lord Lamont's life. He actually had to go to court today. We spoke on that in that podcast. We put that in the end screen too. We had a lot of fun speaking on L'Oreal Lyrical's music, and we played a lot, pretty much all her songs she made. We spoke on them, and you know how we do. We have a playlist and we have commentary in between the songs. So may great divine help him and be with him today. And he was anticipating it. It was kind of weighing on his heart. So send our prayers out to Lord Lamont that he be okay. And I'll get with him later on. I'm sure he'll contact me and he'll let me know what happened. But like I told him, watch Great Divine move. I'm telling you, it's nothing more power than Great Divine and Mama Nature. Whatever's out there that helps you when, it just comes out of nowhere sometimes. When you connect it and you're good in that heart, that's the benefit. Like I said, sometimes being a upright, positive human being can be an uphill battle, but it's worth it, especially when you've helped those along the way. Creating generals, because we spell breakers out here. We're righteous visionaries, all right? And okay, let me see. I got one summary I'm going to read about a strong divine path. That's what's above my name on the thumbnail. EBX, EBXCARES, of course. But this is a thumbnail I made a long time ago. And that's what, I was speaking on artwork a while ago. It's wonderful, having our own ideas without AI. Again, it's not the vehicle, it's the person driving the vehicle. But again, salute to the righteous warriors out there that's able to see beyond this fake ass, this, I don't know, weird ass world out here. If we able to see beyond that and can see into our own soul, again, salute yourself and pat yourself on the back, because it's people out here losing it, man. Real talk. And I don't make light of it. Some people, it's their choice. Some people, what this social media has done, brought out the worst in some people. So, but it's also has brought out greatness in some people and the best. And again, salute to those who are just expressing their skills and speaking truth, whether you got a big platform or small platform, and also those who are on the ground, boots on the ground, like the song, and really getting it in the communities and volunteering in schools and really caring about the youth and humanity and our culture. I salute you, and may great divine keep your path clear and protected for all of us, who are righteous. All right, so I'm gonna read this summary about a divine path, and then we're gonna have, when we come back from a hip-hop break, y'all know I'm having a hip-hop break. Remember, hip-hop is my first love, but I love all music. Okay, let me see. Good music though, but fun, truthful music, dancing music. I love all kinds. It's good to have how can I say it? A variety spirit, but we can kind of, have different flavors on things. Just have an open mind, not a naive mind now, but an open one. And that's great to be able to balance things like that. And many of us have that. Salute to my wonderful generals that's mindful and grounded and know who they are, not taken in by social media and or media. I salute you again, because I know it can be an uphill battle in life and to my real life and on this social media, especially for a righteous warrior. They mess with your platform, and I heard Jaguar Wright say they was messing with her subscriber, her verifications. They didn't know when she put up a video. Then when she was speaking live, she couldn't see the comments. It is not just her. It's a lot of righteous generals that go through that. I've seen it, so like I say, when I come to a person's platform, if one is blessed to have a platform, okay, emphasis on that, I come to learn, not to be nosy and no, that's stupid. That's going against everything. That means everything I say will be hypocritical and a lie. So no. And again, those who are doing stuff like that and using different accounts and all that crap and going on people's chat rooms, you ought to be ashamed of yourself, especially if you're a grown, aware adult. Come on now. It's too much shit going on out here. So be as real as we possibly can. Sometimes Great Divine will give us that art of patience in life and just flow, just flow without all the unnecessary drama. And that's when the gifts will come, and not just for ourselves, it also come through person, place, thing sometimes, because it's not always toxic things that come on this path. It's a lot of good things, good quality people that we'll come across. Some may be face to face, some may be online, Yep, and especially in our own families. It's always a blessing when divine things are in our family, because I've had some wonderful stories. So, like I said, the discussion I had with my cousin, my Aunt Ruby, and my Uncle Larry, and Lord Lamont when we all seen each other about a couple weeks ago. Wonderful conversation, man. Discussion we had. It was wonderful. And I will be getting with them, the beginning of next month. Yeah, I'm supposed to be going to my hometown and see some old friends and kick it with family and just cherish our loved ones, those who are alive and those who may not be no longer with us. May they rest in peace and in power. The body may be gone, but their spirit lives on through us, brothers and sisters. Remember that. All right, and thank those for coming in to another edition of EBX Discussion, if I didn't say that already. All right, so let's go. Leaders and teachers with a student spirit. We got one summary, then we're going to get to this hip hop break. Let's go. A divine path and its associated spiritual gifts refer to a purposeful, iron faith guided. Notice iron faith, not just no ignorant faith or naive. No, we got to have an iron faith, All right, it's action. Got to have action too. They can't just sit on our butts and think, some things we have to put out there. Because in order for us to, it's the old saying, you hear me say it a lot, we hear it a lot, but, what we put out, what we get back, we have to put in that action too, along with deep prayer and meditation also. All right, let's go. Iron faith guided journey in which that great divine and that righteous iron spirit bestows unique abilities, skills, thoughts, ideas, such as being wise, healing, prophecy, and teaching upon individuals to serve others, build spiritual unity, and fulfill a higher calling. If we could just stick to the calling. And something I say to kind of remind myself, never forget whatever calling we're on, again, whether we got a platform or not, or we're in the world, never forget why we started doing this in the first place. Because sometimes I have to remind myself and center myself. Why am I doing this? Why am I speaking? Why do I share content? These questions I ask myself. And am I doing it because I love it? Am I doing it because I'm trying to get attention? Am I doing it because I'm trying to go viral? Or am I doing it for a purpose? Now, that's when we have to be honest with ourselves. Now, when I first started, I've always been positive. But that's why it's good to study oneself and really see who we are in the core of our soul. Now, when I first started, I would say a fragment of myself maybe have wanted attention, but it was from good intentions though, But Now that's not no longer the goal. Now, I'm speaking to that great divine. It's just through expression of a platform. And the icing on the cake and the beautiful part is generating generals along the way. Because as I read in there, you see it had that word unity. See, a higher calling. We find out when one becomes wise, especially those who are tapped in spiritually and have been, been tapped into their divine spirit and have practiced, their righteous walk for a long period of time. We know that it's a greater cause. It's a way higher cause. This little speck we call Earth, man, is way, like I said, great divine, the teachings of that great divine and lessons and experiences we've had. Great divine is way beyond our understanding, so we can get to that space. That's how we will come into a true power in oneself. And those who have that real intuition, like those who may see in face to face or even online, they had that intuition. Like, again, salute to those who may be online, but actually doing things in real life, so because it's getting to the point, it's getting very challenging to differentiate that, but in the end, again, if one is righteous and that's so and paying attention, we'll know who the allies are. All right, so let's get to this hip hop break, and that's brothers and sisters in the world, online, and our families. All right. Like I said in the intro, man, all I want to do is help my people. And that's anyone that wants to be helped, whether family, brother and sister, or male, female, younger or older, because that's another thing we got to keep in our spirit. Remember those who helped us, because, whether it was a positive word, a physical action, whether it was financial, so I never forget those who helped me. Again, whether it's brother, sister, and family in the world, online, That's what keep us humble and keep us grounded and keeping their spirit alive, especially those who are no longer with us, far and near. All right, this is a song I did recently called Loved Ones, speaking of loved ones. And the next one is Divine Love. And I did that song recently too. Now, Loved Ones actually the inspiration of Loved Ones was inspired by the great Uncle Terry, my Uncle Terry who passed recently, which was a very tough, he was a tough one. He was a tough one. And that's what inspired me to make this next song. So it's like I was sad and I was angry at the same time because, and I think I had this discussion. This is one of those touchy topics. Now, we all know about the COVID thing and all that. And I had a theory that some people, now remember we had to get that thing put in our arm that they were trying to make everybody get. I had a theory. I think some people would still be here if they had never got that shot. So ponder that. So I thought about that kind of connect to my Uncle Terry and my Aunt Ruby and Tamika. I think if they did, because I don't know. So I'm just gonna put a period in that. But again, when I made this song, it's like I was sad because my Uncle Terry had passed, but I was also angry because I thought about things like that, how they put things in our food and they make us get these shots and all that stuff, and it just makes me wonder if some people, especially the righteous ones, that left us too early or wasn't their time to go, if that had something to do with their passing. So that's just something I was tinkering around in one spirit, because I despise devilish, wrong shit. I hate it, so, and I don't even like that word hate, but when it comes to demonic, devilish shit, I don't like that shit, because it's three things I don't play with. As I like to say, I don't play with my life, I don't play with death, and I don't play with other people's lives. I don't do that shit. It's stupid, because it will come back and bite you on the ass. It's inevitable, so might as well be as righteous as we possibly can. And the more we are making right choices, and again, it's not about being this holier than thou, perfect person. It's just being right in our heart. And I'm telling you, it's good for our immune system. I don't know why. If one wants to be rotten and bad in that soul, hey, stay the fuck away from the righteous, because we want to breathe in this life. We don't want to be suffocated by unnecessary chaos. So salute to the righteous brothers and sisters and family in the world, online. To my loved ones. Yep, so be back after this. My wonderful fellow spell breakers, as Lord Lamont, that was his. He came up with that. Those who listening, you are our fellow spell breakers, and keep our loved ones in our spirit. Be back after this. Loved ones. For my loved ones, wake up music, for my loved ones. I do it how I make it through it. For my loved ones, man, I do it, make it through it. For my loved ones, man, I go to bat, for my loved ones. Rawr, I gotta be a beast, and making sure, that we see Imperial, like L'Oreal, lyrical, rest in heaven, and here we go. She was a phenomenal, the spirit living in my bones, in my Uncle Terry, on my family, keeping them strong, in the spirit, live long, keep that great divine in that family zone. Rawr, and ain't no devil ever, man, gonna get to the E. I gotta see what I need to see up in the streets, and putting that protection over my family, my children, and so we can all be free. Woo! Man, I do it for my loved ones. Man, for my loved ones, man, I go to bat, for my loved ones. Man, I don't claim to be no perfect man, but here I am, I hear and I stand. And just listen to these words that a brother saying, and it's that devil that I always say we slaying. Fire, I never let the devil take over us. No. And being shame or being no disgust. No. I carry that honor of thy family, making me strong, making sure I stay real E. Man, I do it for my loved ones. Man, I do it for my loved ones. My loved ones. Man, I go to bat, for my loved ones. Make it through it, and I gotta do it for my loved ones. I make it through it, ain't no losing for my loved ones. Rest in peace and power to all of my family. That great divine is all over thee. I place protection, I put it all in our soul, so we can stay here and on our toes. I gotta do it for our loved ones. For our loved ones, our loved ones, our loved ones, our loved ones. Real talk. I mean every bit of that song. And that's another thing that Great Divine will put in our spirit. Being able to come off the cuff straight from the spirit. Because again, if anybody listens to this channel, I've been writing rhymes since, I would say, the late 80s. Well, that's when I started. When I started taking it serious, started getting serious around 2000. But I started writing at the maybe late 80s, early 90s, something like that. So, and I've been, again, when we practice something, remember, anybody can have this ability. It's just a matter of how much we study ourselves and get in there and find things that's laying dormant, and also practice things that attach to our youth, keep us youthful within, not doing childish things, but never lose that childlike energy. So I think that's why I love hip hop, because it connects to my childhood, So writing all those years, and one day I'm going to do a video and I'm going to just show all the stacks of rhymes I've written, and maybe go through them and read them. I think that'd be kind of fun. Maybe me and Lord Lamont do that sometime, because I still got a lot of them. I just got to find them. They're all around the house somewhere. But again, when we practice something, as many of us have experience that got good skills and are artists, whatever kind of artist that is, after a while, it becomes seventh nature, as I like to say. So now I've gotten to a point where I can freestyle, but I'm not a freestyler, so to speak. But it's getting easier and better, because again, when your goal is not just to get attention and you're actually doing something you love, that's when you get good at it. So when you really love what you do and you have a righteous passion, an on fire passion, it becomes effortless. So I've gotten to that place of doing music where I can freestyle. So again, even when I fumble and mess, I leave it all in there. It's fun. Fun to the mental, as the great Professor Griff say. Yeah, so that song was freestyled, and a lot of them are, but I still like writing too. Yeah, putting words together and stuff. So yeah, so it's wonderful. So again, me and Lord Lamont, maybe he and I will make a song. I don't know what we're gonna make, but we're gonna manifest something Saturday, because he's excited. He said we haven't done one in a while. So yeah, so the next song is is Divine Love. Yeah, I just did that recently because this is wonderful, when we got that divine love. But On Fire, Firm love, not naive, because every now and then we have to show person, place, or thing. Tough love, baby. Gotta have that tough love, because Great Divine don't raise no punks at all. But intellectual and understanding, overstanding, and understanding at the same time. It's wonderful to have balance like that. If one observe for a long time, person, place, thing, ourselves, telling you, be amazed what Great Divine will show us and place on our path. We righteous visionaries and see beyond, this punk ass matrix, above and beyond, the horizon, the things that's people doing superficial dumb stuff, have no idea what things is going on in this world. Real talk. That's why I always try to keep a global perspective. Real talk. All right. Divine Love, the next song, and then we're gonna get back to this next summary I got of see, we spoke on divine path. Now we gonna move on over to a righteous, having righteous vision, or being a righteous visionary. And we got 3 spellbreaker statements, and I'm gonna salute your divine war zone to your divine life. So be back after this. Divine love, fierce divine love, that is. Be back. Wake up music.
Wake up music.
Salute my children and family, brothers and sisters are all across the globe. We never lose and watch us glow. A fierce, a divine love. 2 wrongs don't make no right. It must lead those to the light.
Brothers
and never
and
go out
sisters.
this life without a fight. A fierce, a divine love. And I keep on doing what I gotta do. And in this life, I gotta stay true. I love my family, my brother and my sister too. Ain't got no time, man, to lose. I keep that fire that's burning, deep in my soul. And how I stay here and on our toes. I keep blazing of this here flame. In this life, be smart, never be no lame.
No.
A fierce, a divine love. 2 wrongs don't make no right. And never go out this life without a fight. Brothers and sisters, divine love. 2 wrongs don't make no right. I must lead those to the light. Fierce, a divine love.
Let's go.
And I keep on moving through, and I never ever lose. I'm being smart in this life, I never be no fool. Fuck lies, I stick to the truth. I'm not no perfect man, and I make it through. Never will I stop, and I rock, keep on going on. Inspiring to everybody, man, to stay strong. Keep on looking up, and never looking down. Me, I'm thinking for our families, and we here and around.
Divine love.
I gotta keep fierce, divine love. 2 wrongs don't make no right. I must lead those to the light. Brothers and sisters, All right, brothers and sisters. 2 wrongs don't make no right. Me and Lord Lamont, we was kind of discussing that, how I was speaking on how he and I had challenges, and I had to understand myself in order to see his point of view, what he'd been through, because I reiterate, it was a long time where me and Lord Lamont didn't see each other, and it was back when I, wasn't aware and, wasn't thinking about the future and all that stuff. But as we know, it does come back around. So, and it's wonderful. And it was meant for him to move. Like I say, I've always knew I was going to move to Milltown. And, let me see. Hold on. Hold on, brothers and sisters. I'm trying to get to the mojo. But I always knew, as I said in past podcasts, I always knew I was going to move to Milltown. And Great Divine ordained me to move here. There's been too many divine things that has happened. Discussion I had with my family. I was speaking on it in the beginning. But and it was a long time I didn't see him. And of course, it was things he was dealing with that he had within, and I had to kind of let him get it out. And we went through a little challenge where we didn't speak for a while, but I never detached from him. I still stayed with him because I knew I had to understand, so I had to look at his point of view. He hadn't seen his dad in years, so he had a lot of questions. So eventually it was going to come out. And I went through that with my daughter Naya, and I went through that with Andrea, because I was in their lives, but not their whole life. So we gotta let our children express themselves, and be thankful if our children are somewhat wise. And I'm talking about young youth, or even a child like Ethan, 11. Ethan is so intelligent at his age. It is unreal. So be thankful if we do have a good connection with our youth and our children, because I know it's some out here that's so detached from reality, so, but even then, we gotta, like I said, we can't throw them away either. We gotta help them the best way we can to them too. So that's why, I will be volunteering, cause school getting ready to start. So that's one of my goals for volunteering, to have some kind of impact in his friend's life, and his his classmates and stuff like that, because that inspires him, to be a good person, and I think he knows the difference between being a good person or being naive, because he's had a couple of run-ins with students and stuff. So, but his mom does really well with him, and again, she's almost raised 8 kids by herself. So that's why I always say call her Superwoman. She's been through a lot, well, until I came along, So again, me and her been together coming up on 13 years, and it has been challenging, folks. Ain't gonna make it like it's been easy, but we still here and we still standing. That's what we gotta say to ourselves. Great Divine got us here for a reason, and I don't do coincidences. Real talk. If you in a good space, bad space, find out why. Get to the root. All right. So let's get to this summary, and as you can hear in the background, that's an actual song I made called "Help My People," and I might put that. You know what? I'll put that in the returning subscriber for stuttering this morning. I'll put that in the returning subscribers preview. Where you go in where it say view the channel. I'll put that at the top, that song. And it's a video of nature. We're showing the mountains and stuff like that. And it's called Help My People. And I wrote that song, actually. So that's what's playing in the background. And we're going to outro out with that, all right? So let's get to this summary. Leaders and teachers with a student spirit. Brothers and sisters, family in the world, online. Younger or older? Let's go. All right, now we're going to get into a righteous vision, or being a righteous visionary. So again, chill with me on the balcony here on the banner, and we're looking out over the city, getting into deep thought, having a wonderful discussion, studying human nature and ourselves, most important of all. Get in our brain, work that brain, Let's not let gifts lay dormant and great things that's in us. Let's bring them out and show the world, divinely. Not in a bragging way, not in the ego way. Let it come what, folks? What do the greatest philosophers always say? Naturally. It's the most beautiful thing ever. All right, let's go. The gift of a divine vision, often called spiritual sight. Divya, D-I-V-Y-A, which is another name, I guess. This is just other words in here. Drishti, D-R-I-S-H-I-T-I. I don't know what that is, but those are just different words. Let's go. Okay, go back. The gift of divine vision, often called spiritual sight. The seer gift is a supernatural ability to perceive spiritual realities, hidden truths, or distant events beyond normal physical limits. It appears across different religious and epic traditions as a direct channel to a divine insight. And that leads back to what I was saying. Again, a lot of us have come up through different beliefs, different religions, different ways of being raised. But whether it's the universe, God, Mama Nature, it's all the same thing, folks. It's all centered into that higher calling, higher spirit, something beyond the human flesh. It's all the same thing. So can we please stop arguing? Who believes what and who believes this? Who's righteous in our heart? Who's real? Who's authentic? That's what matters. Because again, it's not the vehicle, folks. It's who's driving the vehicle, real talk. That's just like voodoo and stuff like that. How they made, in the Bible, they said voodoo was bad when it's really not. It's the first spiritual practice before religion even came along. And voodoo, it depends on the person. Again, it's the vehicle, not the person driving the vehicle. You can have a righteous person that maybe practice voodoo. So we got to stop just thinking things are bad because the wicked Caucasian say it is. Because again, folks, I reiterate, watch a lot of these shows or even some podcasts that white people are on. And again, these sitcoms and TV shows, they always have African artifacts, either statues on the desk or some kind of picture or display of some African on the wall. They the ones that be studying it more deeper than us. See, you can't shun any and everything. Like I heard a brother, matter of fact, Brother Lance Skirvex said it. It's something he always say. Take the good and leave the bad. So that's what we got to do. Again, that's not mine. That's his. But that's a very great point. So that's what we got to get away from. So in my theory, maybe I'm wrong, but in one's theory and opinion, I think most real philosophers, I'm not talking about religion or nothing like that. I'm talking about a true philosopher, one who knows their wise knowledge in their soul, a real individual, even if we really don't know, but got a good heart, so it all in my theory, the universe, great divine, mama nature, creator, God, it depends on the person, right? But it's all aimed toward the same thing, treat others as you would want others to treat you and deflect anything toxic. That's, again, most of these books, I haven't read most of them myself, but they are, I'm pretty sure, are pretty much centered around the same thing, and always be at a higher calling, tap into our higher self. That's what most of those books are saying, among some of the, especially, the Bible, you have to sift through that one, but the book of Enoch and some of those other books, like the Ethiopian Bible and stuff like that, those are the ones that got that real truth in there, so, but if we study the history, again, it's about seeing the real enemy and knowing who the real allies are at the end of the day. And the allies are not just wicked entities, weakest that be trying to run this world, or wicked podcasters. No, it could be, allies in our family. Who are the allies in our families? That kind of thing, our personal lives too. So the art of differentiation and having an above and beyond vision, it's beautiful. So we just won't be stuck in no small space. Because in any event, whatever we call it, God, creator, great divine, it's not this small thing. It's the most powerful thing we'll ever experience. Now, we all can agree on that, especially those who have experienced, things we can't explain that happen in this life that are beyond the human eye. So if we've experienced that, we know that it's way more powerful. So we need to stop this bickering, going back and forth, disagree to agree, and pay attention to the real enemy. Okay? All right, so let's get to these 3 spellbreaker statements. And again, we're sitting on the balcony looking over the beautiful city and getting into deep thought and being that superhero that's inside each and every one of us. Big space, small space. We can think big without ego or thinking we this big bad person. We can, though. We got some big bad righteous generals out here, though, that ain't playing, and that's male and female. All right. If we righteous in our heart, we'll be in those righteous circles. We'll know who the righteous allies are, whether they got platform or not. Even those in comments and chat rooms, we can know who the allies is in there. If we're not sheep or sheeple. All right. Okay, let's get to these spellbreaker statements. And again, I'm going to salute you divine generals on to your divine life. Let's go. Leaders and teachers with a student spirit. Number 1, let nothing stop our divine path. I don't give a damn what it is. Let nothing stop it. If we see somebody else, the example I like to give, somebody at the edge of a cliff, if we think we can help them to keep them from jumping off, help them, but one has to want to help themselves. Because remember, folks, always got to remind ourselves, there were those who helped us, those who are upright. And another reminder I like to give, we looking at an upright brother or sister who's standing firm and very confident. Remember, some of them have went through fires to get to that confident state. So we got to keep that in mind. All right. So let's go. Spellbreaker statement number 2. Outsmart AI. Don't be driven by AI. Again, that goes back to what I said in the beginning. Again, it's all about who's driving the vehicle, not the vehicle itself. So don't let this AI read our mind and control our thoughts and lead us. Let's stick to our human spirit. Nothing is more powerful than the human spirit. I don't give a fuck what it is, because everything that was invented and made came from a human thought. The brain is the ultimate computer, hands down. Facts. So we got to know that. All right. We are the fucking AI. Real talk. Fuck our algorithm. Outsmart the AI. All right. We can use it, but use it, beat them at their own game. This is chess, not checkers, But again, my righteous generals, they know that. We know that, right? Okay, that was Spellbreaker statement number 2. Outsmart AI. Incorporate ancestral intelligence. How about that? And I learned that from the great Professor Griff, all right? He actually had that in a title, in a topic. Professor Griff, and many people that think like Professor Griff. Professor Griff, dope. I love Professor Griff. I've been that brother, he another brother. He actually, like I said, mentioned before, Professor Griff, one of the first teachers I started listening to, even before social media, when he had DVDs and all that. He was the first person I started listening to. And that's another brother that I jotted down a lot of notes. And I got dates on it and everything. But he broke down. He been Professor Griff and many others, not just Professor Griff. It's been many philosophers and those who are true, who speak that truth and unapologetic was been speaking about that industry shit. Even before the P. Diddy situation, all that shit. He been talking about it. And I got a lot of it wrote down. He's Malcolm X and all that stuff. So I got it around here somewhere. Notes I have jotted down. I got like 2 or 3 pages of notes I have jotted down from listening to Professor Griff. Because like I say, when I listen to a person, I come to learn, So I actually jot down stuff, write stuff down. So, and that's how we really learn, when we are really there to learn, that's exactly what we'll do. All right. Spellbreaker statement number 3, focus on a righteous purpose. Again, that leads back to a righteous vision or be a righteous visionary. Stick to it. Stay with it. Let nothing waver it. And when we come into, if we happen to come, because we'll always, come into some kind of toxic situation, coming through person, place, thing. But again, if one can be helped, keep it moving. That's one of my favorite phrases. My Aunt Vera, rest in peace and in power. She used to like when I said that. Keep it moving. I've been saying that for years. Keep it moving. Stick to what Great Divine has for us, not what man has for us. Because I love to say, man try to justify free will, but God don't give us free will. God give us consequences. God give us freedom, to do what we want, but not without consequences. And it's a reason for that. So we can see that ultimate power or get close to it as we possibly can, So because Great Divine wants us to see that, many of us philosophers say we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and it's something, so and a lot of us have tapped into it. Like I say, if we study signs, synchronicities, deja vu, and dreams, I'm telling you that we'll get close to that cosmic world out there that just been waiting on us. Don't go our whole life about without learning something or expressing a skill and doing something we love and just living life to the fullest. Don't live our whole life. Now we're gonna have stresses sometimes and maybe challenges. We deal with that too, but do not let this devil make us where we can't have no joy. Don't you live your whole life in depression and down and out. Don't you dare, because some people have done that and left here, so no, I refuse to let that happen. So in any way we can, push out positive energy in our own space and push it out to the world, the universe, the Great Divine and Mama Nature, and it will come back, not just for us. It'll also connect to those in our realm. And who's in our realm? This is like the center is us, we start with ourselves. I'm talking about a righteous ripple effect. Brother, sister, children, brother, sister, family, significant, how did I say it? Ourselves, significant other, children, family, brother and sister, that's in that realm, So we right in our heart and we are righteous visionaries. Again, we'll know who the allies are. So stay righteous as possible. And it's fierce. It's not this soft thing, but we have joy too. When we can balance that, man, blaze through this life like we have been. Again, salute to all the warriors out there. Again, upright human being or deeply spiritual, educated. If, you ain't giving this punk ass devil no room in your life, salute yourself and pat yourself on the back, because we need generals out here far and near, a global perspective and protection. So that was in my spirit. Thank those for riding along, coming into another edition of EBX discussion. And stay great, stay strong. And Great Divine, just getting started. Thank those for coming on the balcony here with me, looking on the beautiful city, and I do think that's New York. And it reminds me of Milwaukee, because I said when I was a child, I used to love the nightlife of Milwaukee. At nighttime, the city just looks so beautiful. So I've always been intrigued by that, as well as Mama Nature. Learn something new every day. Never stop learning, folks. I'm telling you, that's when life can be beautiful. So again, I will stay encouraging. I will stay a general for that Great Divine, and I will keep positive things in my spirit for family, brothers and sisters, in the world, online, especially those who are righteous, and those who are in a bad space. Or if you're healthy, better get with it, because the future is going to come. It's inevitable. So be blazed in this present, and bless ourselves by thanking that Great Divine, and bless others that want to be blessed and want to be helped. So those blessings can get bigger and greater and grow out into the world, because that's what it's about. We reach out into the world, send that positive energy out, Yep. So stay on this divine path, brothers and sisters, and brother, sister, family in the world online. Continue being a strong, upright warrior, and stay a righteous visionary. Salute.